I'm gonna call the Thursday, December 21st, 2023, special call meeting to order. One item on the agenda, and that's approval of the renewal of resolution declaring local state of emergency due to Hurricane Idalia. Anybody gonna have any questions, comments, or do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner White, a second by Commissioner Perkins. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Logan. Any other questions, comments?
I want to be sure. I asked Carolyn to be here, but she and I talked briefly yesterday. If you all recall, back in the budget process, she needed a van, and she had a game plan with funds from last year. So she started shopping, and there's not one through. You can't get one through the normal process of the Sheriff's Association or like anything like that. So asked her to look for some sole source vehicles. She found one. It was gone before we could move on that. And I want her to stop me whenever I need to shut up and let her tell the real story. But we need really authorization so that she can, when she gets something, she can move on it and not wait on a commission meeting or something else, whether it's with my approval or whatever. But the funds are supposed to be sitting there, and I'll hush. Let you. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much good listener.
Wow.
So you just need consensus, I guess, from the board to tie up. I mean, you just want to do a deposit? Because I don't
Just
think
give the administrator authority
to tie it, lock it up, and then
buy it, whatever.
Or just buy it that way. I mean, it's already budgeted.
Yeah, it's just to make the purchase and don't use it. I don't have
And then we'll go when we get.
Have we got a money issue with what we got budgeted as far as how much to pay, or?
No, you've got that all squared away, right?
what's the ballpark?
So it's about 57.
And just to stay inside the purchasing policy, remind me what your limit is?
Mine's 35.
So,
But if you all authorize us to buy it, is again, it's budgeted, and we can bring it back to you, let you know what it was when we do that.
so
You put the deposit
So
on.
we just need a motion to authorize the county administrator to purchase a van for extension office not to exceed
Probably with tax and everything else.
not to exceed $60,000. That would be the motion.
Will that work with tax and all the other
Yeah,
associated?
we don't
They don't
pay
pay
tax.
tax.
No.
Okay.
But 60 would be a good number. That way it would be less than that.
Okay, yeah, not to exceed 60,000.
Okay. So do we have?
Can I ask a question before we do this? What kind of van are we looking for?
Passenger van.
I mean, just one of those straight vans, or one like the,
Fire department has or one?
yeah, or something different? I'm just questioning.
We were looking for the lower profile, just from a safety standpoint on the highway, carrying kids. But they're few and far between right now. So if they have a higher profile, we're not opposed to that. It's just not what our first. We also have to be able to take seats out through UF. If we cannot have a 15-passenger van without having a CDL. So the Ford vans, you can pop. They have like, you can pop one seat out, you can pop two seats out, you can pop all of them out. So you can configure it how you need it. So we could easily pop out one and have 14 and be under the.
CDL requirement.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
could it be something like maybe to seek from dealers to get a price from them, maybe like a bid on them or something? Or maybe something you have probably trying to find one. Could
Best that's what we're doing is go to the dealers. They had one, and there was going to do a swap with Waltz, dealer swap, and I don't know if
That got sold before we could do anything.
Who would have thought?
Is it the Transit Connect like a 2,500 or 1,500 you're looking for?
The ones that we've been getting quotes on are 3,500.
3,500.
Well, how's the buses like Larry's got over there? Is that CDL limits?
Well, no, they keep them under that. They try, like she says, that you can pop some of them seats out and do that.
So that's what she is talking about.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I was getting to. Like
Yeah.
those buses.
And they make them the Dodge makes them sprinters as well, but I don't know if them seats are removable. I just can't recall on that.
Have you spoke with Suwannee Valley Transit? Because I know from time to time he's got
Yeah, we're on his list.
extra backups. that
He's
sometimes
mentioned her a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything that would
We're
accommodate.
waiting for something to roll over 200,000.
So that's
We wanted him just go around town in circles.
What about the economic councils? They, they run that too, run buses.
I don't know if they've got any buses now.
I've seen one back there. He's just got one I've seen sitting back there the other day, but that's it. I wouldn't seen that. I only seen one, and others
They
could have
got
been
more,
moving.
'cause they could
Yeah,
have
others could have been
much
moving. I just seen one sitting there. So.
Eddie, how often is your van used on a monthly basis?
It's usually a couple times a month. It's, it varies with training. That's primarily what people take if they go to class somewhere.
What is the one you got?
We have transit,
Transit.
Ford Transit.
Until we can get one, would it be an option for her to use yours?
Absolutely.
If she scheduled
Yeah,
that?
Jimmy just used it last week, so.
I drove it.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, it's like I said, we have it Sean uses it some for CPR to go around and haul his equipment when he goes and does CPR sometimes. It's primarily for training and
So until she can get one, Miss Carolyn would
yeah, anytime if you need it,
reach out
just
to
haul
Eddie
it.
and
Thank you.
Stuff.
until we can you can get your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was talking to Greg.
We realize that.
Yeah. You got your good on
Any so everybody okay with someone authorizing?
I'll make a motion to approve county administrator up to $60,000 purchase a new van
for office
for office,
for extension office.
Which is a budgeted item.
which is a budgeted item.
So,
We have a motion by Commissioner White, a second by Commissioner Perkins. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Vote.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mandy had something that she was trying to text me and I kept, so
You authorized the purchase of a vehicle from West Haney during the Tuesday night meeting.
Mhm.
I forgot to put on the blurb as well, authorization to have finance release the payment for that vehicle. So I'm asking you now.
Is that was Gamble's replacement?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a vehicle that was in an accident.
23 Chevrolet we were purchasing.
That was
They
total.
need to replace.
We have a motion by Commissioner Perkins. Did you?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins.
So,
Second by Commissioner White. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Ms. Logan, did you get that? Okay. 5-0. Mr. Scott, anything else?
we're still given for the debris removal. Levi called me last night. I wasn't able to take the called in this morning. We've been playing phone tag this morning, but Levi's the debris guy with the company. So if you got any more list of things, I got an email ready to go. I'm waiting on Streeter Road for 81st and 85th.
It's done.
That's already done. That's how good we are.
Yes.
77th Road the other day, I went around there, there's a couple piles on it. I don't know, there was somebody down there working, so they may have gotten it by now, I don't know.
So what that was is that road had been cleaned one time before, but then them crews came back down it and dropped some limbs and stuff. But when I talked to some of our employees yesterday during the luncheon, they said they were out there cleaning it up yesterday.
Have we got somebody from the county we can send out to just make a sweep through?
Yeah, all the guys are. I talked to the supervisors last week, I think it was. As you're out, look, see what's out there, what's not. Grader operators, everybody's going to start making notes of what we see.
I really wish that whatever county it was that let us use that quick capture app.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had that back for our guys when they're out, they could just take that picture and it drops that pin and it sends that geotag to somebody sitting up behind a desk that could say, hey, contractor, look at all these pins right here. All these are piles that.
That's one thing we've got to get to is a GIS system so we can have layers for that very thing.
Because sometimes we give them, you give them, let's just say 213th Road.
Right.
Well, they go hit it north of this road, but you wanted them to hit it on the south end. And we got it. Well, no, you didn't. The pile's still there. Well, we did.
And that's the biggest thing is if They've been trying to get us addresses so we can know where, as opposed to, this road, south end, north end. I mean, that helps. But if we had the pins, it'd be.
Is it an option? Because is it an option for those counties that had that? I forget. I don't remember. I think it was Pasco that had it, and they had the iPads that went with it. I mean, is there a way that before our contract, before
I
it's,
thought he did that for us.
It's on here, but it won't work though.
but it's disabled?
Yeah, I've tried it several times.
My point is it an option for us to get that equipment and that app back live to disperse with the iPads or the tablets to our people that are out riding around? So before they leave on January 30th, maybe we kind of did a sweep using that app to drop the little pins on where all this stuff is that we're saying is missed, that they said, no, we got it. Well,
We could use that for some of our people.
How much longer are we gonna keep doing this? Do we have
It's y'all's
anything?
call. I mean, it's really, my fear is the private roads, what y'all want to do. To make it clear, if you want to say, let's stop doing it so we don't have to touch those, that's y'all's call.
And what, alternatively, Commissioner White, if the governor turns it off, then we're done.
We're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we don't control that.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we would send information to Simon's office, and he was supposed to go to the governor's office to try to get the private roads picked up by the contractors, so.
we heard an update on that.
I have not heard an update.
So you're saying the app that they created does not work?
No, I can't log into it.
This is up mine
Did you?
Mine's not working either. I
I
tried
don't
the
know.
other day.
Maybe they just cut us off. I've tried several times.
Well, Mr. Norris, let's just say that it is working for you. Who's monitoring it? Who's getting
Well,
it?
I don't know that, but I was just saying, y'all were saying you couldn't get into it, I just
I
checked
couldn't.
mine.
I tried
Which one's the
that
name?
quick capture.
Yep.
But Paul out of Water Management was the one that created all that, so he's local, so maybe we can talk to him and
We'll do the
see.
legwork and see if we can do that.
Well, I mean, it might just be a tool for us to use before those guys leave town.
Sure.
Someone, give it to the supervisors or whatnot. Hey, take pictures, use this
Not
app.
working.
Well, maybe it's working for some and not for the others, but who's getting the data and who's looking at it?
They let you log in?
Yeah.
It's telling me that the GPS is turned off. I need permission to turn it
You
on.
probably turn that on your
On
phone.
your phone, probably.
I did. I should be.
Anyhow,
All right.
Mr. Scott,
We'll follow up on that.
just a question. They may say, no, that ship sailed. You can't use that stuff anymore.
And like you said, where's the information go?
Who's getting it? Who's monitoring it? And what are they doing
Probably
with it?
somebody in Pasco County.
Yeah, probably thinking, what the heck is this?
Well, if they are, then maybe great. Maybe they can say, hey, you know what? We don't mind helping y'all out. We'll send y'all a map once a week of where all this stuff is, so you can forward it to the contractor. All these little pins all around your county of debris piles that haven't been picked up. Maybe they are looking at it. At any rate,
Okay.
anybody got anything else?
Yeah, one other thing, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Scott and I and Chief Hand have been in meetings the last couple of October and then again week before last. The opioid funds, the way they're getting distributed to the smaller counties, which includes us, is the state is contracted through a third-party vendor whose job it is to administer those funds to us. We had a meeting again last week or week before, I'm not sure which, where essentially we have $300,000 and we got till June 1st to pay for it to use them. However, the tag on it is it must be related to opioid treatment, prevention, awareness, whatever. We've done some. Kerry Waldron, also with the health department, has been helping us and sitting in on that. We've got some ideas as to how it could be spent. I think Chief Hand's got a good handle on it, but I would expect probably in one of y'all's January meetings it's going to be, hey, here's a big expenditure for equipment to position, which we can relate to opioids somehow. And so there'll be funding through that, but it's going to seem like a lot of money, but it's, like I said, we kind of have a Brewster's Millions problems of, you have this much money, you have to spend it in this period of time, or it's probably gone. And so anyway, that's the position we're in. I just didn't want you guys to be hearing it for the first time today.
And there's basically got two options. We could contract out with somebody that's going to say they're going to provide service and not do anything, possibly, or, and we can't monitor or know what it is that they're doing, or we can do it in-house so that, and I'll let the chief explain kind of in a Reader's Digest version. There it is.
Yeah, but basically what we're looking at is a community paramedic program. Excuse me. If you have, repeat calls that are constantly bogging up the 911 system, a person would go out to that. They're identified by our medics. They're going on calls. They go out, follow up with them, see what their problems are, get them, almost like a social worker, get them put together with whatever services they need. The opioid portion of this, which will allow us to use those funds, is any overdose type call or drug related call like that, we would follow up with to try to get them the help. As long there are other counties that are using these funds for this. It's a program that we wanted to try to start anyway, but just didn't have the funding to do it. And we have a perfect person within the department that was looking to resign anyway because she was just tired of being on the ambulance. But she's been doing it for 15 years, and she's just like, I'm done. I'm just done being on an ambulance.
Yeah.
So I spoke with her. She's very interested in it. Her personality would be perfect for it. So what we'll have to advertise it, of course, in-house and do interviews and stuff. But I mean, she's very.
So you mean like a caseworker?
It's almost like a caseworker. They follow up and try to keep people from continually calling 911 for an ambulance or going to the hospital and clogging the system up.
So they essentially would build like a profile.
Yeah.
this
Like
person.
you go out. Miss Jones continually falls. And, we're constantly going out there to pick her up and that kind of thing. We send that community paramedic out to sit down and talk to her and find out what her issues are. Does she need assisted living? Does she just, or this one doesn't get their prescriptions, and keep them filled. So they're constantly having to go to the hospital. You put them with the services that they need. And the opioid portion of it that allows us to use these funds to fund that position is anything drug related like that, they would follow up with and try to get them in the system to get help to stop those issues.
$300,000, is that a one-shot deal?
That is one shot, but on average for the next 10 years is $150,000 a year, which will cover the position.
You got lump sum in the beginning. You can get equipment, that sort of thing, and it's ongoing for 10 years. It's continual payment.
So, with the 300 and something up front, obviously this new position created is going to have a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So can the vehicle be
Yep.
used to purchase and any other laptops, computers?
So long as you can say, and the one thing I would add to what the chief said, and when he's going out to those things, they'll hand him a little, Xerox sheet, like, here's some, don't use opioids.
Sure.
Right? Outreach. So long as we do that, we can kind of do what we want.
The other thing is, I want to speak for the chief, but looking at equipment we might put on the other rescue units that they need already, that we buy through this program for those kind of services. And I would make an assumption, and the chief and I hadn't talked about this, but that position could help out other things if we need to also. So if we get backed up on something, we got another resource there also. But there's enough funds to continue that salary for 10 years, and then some incidentals also. So,
Is this person a good speaker as well? I'm just thinking, because it is opioid driven. Is it something that
Community outreach.
Yeah, community outreach. Go speak to schools and other rehabilitation centers, whatever, something like that.
I'm good with it as long as it's just not a one-shot deal, and then we're caught up as a county funding something for another, whatever infinity paying for this.
well, we're good for 10 years with the money that we got coming in. Past that, then we'll have to make other decisions. Do we continue or not, or does it have value? Really, then even along the way, tracking how we utilize that position to help offset some other needs we have, possibly.
Just in that many less 911 calls that you guys are going to go out in on dealing with frequent flyers.
I guess you can buy a person Arcan with that too.
Yeah, that's,
And one of the things
which
that
we already have a free program.
yeah, one of the things that I just thought was interesting, and I'll shut up, is, Mr. Waldron was sitting in the meeting with us, and he's got, there was nothing he could do with the money because, with the health department, he's got all kinds of money that are, like, here's a fortune, but you have to spend it related to this one thing, and you have 3 months to spend it. It's a very common problem he has to deal with, so he couldn't even use the funds. And like I said, as Mr. Scott said, if the other option would be just to turn it over to Meridian or something like that, and it just goes in a black hole.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you.
The chief will bring information back to us to get more details.
Right.
Anything else?
Well, while we're talking on money, AHAC, the SRAC, has $3.2 million. And so to do work on houses, things related to storm, that money would be used for repairs. So if any of y'all have any people that's in your district that need some help on their houses, please have them sign up for it. They was having a problem getting people to do so.
I need a roof. Can I put that on my house?
You already got it done.
Not yet.
You won't qualify.
But you'll do it. I'll keep the insurance.
It's got to be shipped.
If you make too much money,
It's got to hit the ship guidelines.
Yeah, you gotta meet ship guidelines, and they have the other funds that they're looking at using David Fox to help them out with also doing replacement homes. They want to do replacement with
So ones that are more like catastrophic type losses.
that, and also replacing roofs and stuff like that as well. But they want to take down the old houses and give them mobile homes. My suggestion is I prefer the houses because it's going to increase the value of the property, and that's likely to come back in the system again for repairs in the next 3 to 5 years and stuff. But he will be bringing that over to the boards who was talking about that, so he'll give you a heads up on it.
Thank you.
When I talked to Matt
Seriously.
I said, if we can get the people out of the Spirit of the Suwannee campground and put them into homes and they'll start paying taxes again, that's not the ultimate goal, but just to get them out so they can, be
How many families are still in the units?
I'm not sure.
it looks like they still full to me.
Still see activity in out there.
Half a dozen or better kids out there running
I was
around
just
playing.
curious on how many families are still displaced. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I got one thing. It just was brought to my attention yesterday, and this is just for discussion and see what it would cost or what it would look like. But you know how at the end of Down Park Road where it comes back up to 51, how we straightened that out a couple years ago. So I had the Department of Agriculture, not DOT, but Department of Agriculture, one of their higher ups came to me, and where Nobles Ferry and Stagecoach cross.
That's kind of catty.
It's real catty there, and he said there's several, and you would probably know this, Chief, been several accidents there. He says it's really hard for those big trucks right there because they have to basically turn all the way to see both ways to go. He wanted to know what it would take to straighten that out, and I said, I really don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if we got enough right of way there. I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
we do have the Stagecoach in our plan.
And I told him that.
The other thing, we met with DOT Tuesday, maybe. I don't know what today is. But we talked about those kind of areas, like on 51. We've got a couple places there at 250, another place, similar kind of stuff. But when we talked about the planning grant to do that for the catalyst site, and the idea there is not just the catalyst site, but all the connectors getting to the catalyst site. Stagecoach from 129 to 90, all that, how that all fits together. And that's due soon. And then later in the year, look at what we can do for the round live. What does that look like to do a study for that? I know the commission, we met one time, and that was kind of guidance. But there was some traction from Monday's meeting with the Department of Commerce about that 90 intersection at a catalyst site. We need to pursue that right now, but,
Yeah, those guys were very interested in our problem at 169th and 90. You know, that short turn lane, and you know, Railsford's there, trucks stacking up and they're switching cars, and then the condition of 169 to continue to withstand that heavy truck all the way out to 132. So that's on their radar. But yeah, that Nobles Ferry Stagecoach intersections, it's been dangerous forever.
Yeah.
It's everything's at an angle, but maybe we can add that to DOT to ask them to look at that for us. Maybe redesign that or something, see what those numbers look like. Straightening it out where it's more of a T versus an angle.
I think there's enough right of way there to do all that without having to mess with anybody's properties. Yeah.
yeah, I know currently whenever, and it's interesting how we've adapted our driving patterns over the past years. It's like when you go to those intersections that's like that, it's like almost everybody pulls up at an angle, so you're got a T going, so you look both ways. It's like, and before you looked over your shoulder and went on. It's like,
Well, that's when we had a little bit of traffic around here.
true.
Now we have a lot.
But at night, you just turn the lights off and see things like
Blow
that.
through it.
Easy, don't make those recommendations.
I'm sure those are in the notes.
Somebody will take that as a recommendation, Commissioner White.
I did not recommend that, just for the record.
Anyway, anything else we're going on rabbit trails here?
Thank you.
I got work to do.
Motion to adjourn is all we need.
So moved.
So,
Whatever you want.
Motion by Commissioner Hale, second by Perkins. All in favor, aye.
so before y'all take off, we need to.
Okay, we done? You good? You got everything?